Hi everybody, it's Mimi from Time for the Holidays, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. So, if you guys have watched any of these videos, usually every day I talk about the daily holidays of today, or like the awareness days and stuff like that. Um, but if you go to our website, timefortheholidays.net, you'll see that every day we list everything about the day. Like we do the daily holidays, we do the horoscope for the day, and we also do the history of the day. So today I was going through the history and I found something a little bit interesting. So I thought maybe I wanted to talk about it more, and maybe you guys would want to learn more about it. So besides loving art and holidays and all that stuff, I also have the side of me that loves anything supernatural, paranormal, mysterious, unsolved, like that kind of stuff. So today I was going through history, and I found out that today was the sighting of the Flatwood monster. Have you guys heard of the Flatwood monster yet? Well, if not, stay tuned and we're going to talk about it. So the Flatwood monster, actually, it has a couple different names. Some people call it the Flatwoods monster, some people call it the Braxton County monster, and some people call it the Phantom of the Flatwoods. So anyway, the story goes that back on September 12th in 1952, at about 7 at night, a couple of brothers and a friend were outside playing football, and they saw like a red light streak through the sky and land in a farmer's field not too far from them. So the kids were 13, 12, and 10 years old. They ran home to tell their mom what they saw, and they all decided to go investigate. So it was a group of people. It was the two brothers and their little friend that first saw the light go across the sky, the mom, and then a couple other kids that were there, and a dog that went with them. So anyway, they all took off to head towards where they thought they saw the light, or the object from the sky land. And there was a big hill they had to walk up, and they were walking up it, and at the top of the hill were some trees. The kid who was leading the way was a 17-year-old boy named Gene Lemon. He was in the National Guard, so he seemed pretty credible, right? So when they all got to the top of the hill, Lemon took his flashlight and shined it into the trees, and they saw two glowing eyes. They described the eyes as greenish orange. I'm not sure what kind of color that is, but kind of interesting. And they said that this creature was about 10 feet tall. And one of the moms said that she thought that the creature had claw-like hands that were reaching out in front of him. So they all saw the creature. Oh, and they said that like it had like the body looked like it was wearing like a metallic pleated long skirt. They said there was a really pungent smell that made them all nauseous. In fact, right after the incident, for the next day, many of them were throwing up, nauseous. A couple of them even fainted. So anyway, this creature, they said, glided towards them, and Lemon dropped the flashlight, and the mom screamed, and they all just went running back to the house. So once they got back from the house, they called the state police to report it. And the state police didn't really take it seriously and kind of laughed it off. And they just thought that, they let hysteria take over, and, whatever. They just didn't take it seriously. A. Lee Stewart, he's the co-publisher of the paper Braxton County Democrat, wanted to go back to the site. And he did go back to the site with Lemon, the kid that was in the National Guard. They went back there within an hour of this incident to investigate the site. The bad odor was still present. Everybody that went with could smell it. And they reported seeing heat waves, or feeling heat waves going through the air. They did find skid marks on the ground, and there was a weird jelly-like substance on the ground next to the skid marks. So anyway, the next day they reported it. They reported it in local news, and it spread pretty quickly, and the story made national news really fast and became one of the top reported stories in the United States at the time. The boys ended up giving like thousands and thousands of interviews to different people, and some people believe, some people were skeptical, and that's how it goes with these kind of stories. Anything unknown, there's like a stigma attached, like the people that saw it must be crazy or making it up or imagining things, whatever. So anyway, the Flatwood Monster, made a very small town of less than 300 people very famous really quickly. The Fleetwood Monster has never been seen again since that night, but his legend lives on through, they have a museum for him called the Flatwood Monster Museum. The local restaurant has a burger named after the Flatwood Monster, a double cheeseburger with double cheese, and there's like all the little shops in town sell, memorabilia and keepsakes for the Braxton Monster. When you pull into the town, there's a sign that says, "Welcome to Flatwoods, home of the Green Monster," and there's big green painted chairs in the shape of the monster that like you can sit in and take pictures and stuff like that. So, the town has profited off of the monster, but hey, what the heck? It happened there, right? Like a scary situation happened, and they're just trying to, stimulate some economy from what happened there. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, do you? I mean, everybody else has made money off of it, right? There is a show on the History Channel, an episode about it. On the Project Blue Book show, have you ever watched that? The second episode is dedicated to the Flatwood Monster, and many video games use the Flatwood Monster in it. The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, Space Harrier 2, Strikers 1945, Fallout 76, even an Easter egg in Everybody's Golf 4 has the Flatwood Monsters in it, so why should the local town not profit off of it too? So with any story like this, of course, comes the logical explanation, which some people would call the cover-up. You can, whatever you believe, whatever, that's fine. So anyway, the official story or explanation from the Air Force on what happened was that the group of people that were playing outside, when they saw the light flying across the sky, that was actually a meteorite. And the truth is that a meteorite was seen in 3 different states that night, in Maryland, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. I guess the question would be, like, if you're a skeptic, the meteorite story makes total sense. If you're a believer, it would be like, was that really a meteorite streaking across the sky, or was it a UFO? So, I'm not trying to say either way. I'm intrigued either way, but, tell me below in the comments what you think. So anyway, the official story was that the streak through the sky was a meteorite, and the glowing eyes they saw in the trees was really a barn owl. They think that there was a barn owl sitting on the branch, and when they scared it with the flashlight, it flew towards them, and they thought maybe the foliage from the trees underneath just made it look like, it had a body, but really it was just an owl perched up in a tree. So I'm just interested what you think of that story. It doesn't make sense. A meteor went across the sky, a bunch of kids got scared, told their mom. They went to look, and they all were probably pretty freaked out. And then when they shined the light and saw 2 glowing eyes in the tree, which was really an owl, their imaginations took over and they freaked out and ran. But what about the odor? What about the gooey stuff and the skid marks found on the ground? Would a whole group, I could see like one person having like a scary experiences and they think they saw something they didn't, but would that cause the whole group to see something? Like all see the same thing? I'm really curious about that. And what made them so sick that they were throwing up and fainting? I know that anxiety can really mess you up. It messes me up. So was it just high anxiety, or was there some toxic chemical there that, really made them sick? So I put together some questions for you to think about and answer below in the comments, and I already touched a little bit on some of them, but do you think an actual monster, alien, or some other type of creature was seen by the group? Do you think that it was a meteor seen streaking through the sky, or a UFO? Do you think it was an owl perched in the tree, or a 10-foot creature gliding towards them that's unidentified? What was the goo left behind, and where did the skid marks come from on the ground? can high anxiety cause your mind to make things worse or bigger than they actually are? And would all witnesses together see the same thing? So anyway, since researching the story a little bit, and I kind of wondered what happened to everybody who witnessed this, and the two brothers gave, it said in the reports, they gave hundreds of thousands of interviews and just grew tired of talking about the same thing over and over. And there is a documentary about this that the brothers were in and did make. It was, I don't know if they made it, but they were in it. It's called The Flatwood Monster Legacy of Fear. I tried to watch it, but it was listed on Amazon, but it was unavailable. I hope it becomes available because I'd really like to see it. So anyway, they did give a lot of interviews, and like in the trailer, one of the brothers said that he wished it had never happened. You know, and when you think about it, it would be so exhausting to not only repeat the same story over and over and over, but to know that a lot of the people you're telling the story to are skeptics and not believing you and doubting everything you're saying. And, you know, that would be like very frustrating, because just to go through an experience like that, whether it was an owl or an alien or a monster or whatever it was, would be totally terrifying. And then to, you know, have all the extra stress that comes from reporters and just people who want to know, people like me, you know, would be very frustrating. So anyway, I wish everybody involved the best, and, you know, I hope that they did find peace in their lives after this happened. So anyway, thanks for watching. That was the story of the Flatwood Monster. Tell me what you think below, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.